Oh, goody, you know what time it is? I know what time it is. It's Sunday afternoon Bible story time. Chesley, it is. It's with Chesley and Karen. I'm Chesley. This is Karen. I love girls. You know something? I see in the girlfriend. You see a girlfriend? Yeah, I sure do. Sister Francine's here. Today's her birthday. Today is her birthday. So we'll just say happy birthday. She doesn't want us to talk about it. Why not? It's a good thing. She gets some ice cream. Well, Chesley, I don't know if she got ice cream or not. And did you feed her? Yes, we fed her. Chesley, you know we did that. And tonight is going to be a time where we're going to celebrate at church for those who had July birthdays. And she gets to do, oh, good. Okay, now. Okay, and can I sing the theme song? I think you need to sing the theme song. Chesley, we're so glad for everybody that's out there and who all's watching. Chesley, I don't know who all's watching, but did you know we go ahead and put these on Facebook? Not only is it on Facebook, but it's also on YouTube and Rumble. And what's a Rumble? Well, Chesley, that's just, we won't talk about that. It's gonna, but everybody will know. That's gonna be a place where they can go and listen to your videos. And because it's God's word. It's God's word. It's the truth. All right, Chesley, the theme song. This gospel train is chugging at the track. It's chugging at the track. It's chugging at the track. This gospel train is chugging at the track. Chugging to the glory land. That's right. And who can go to the glory land? Is it just anybody wants to go? Oh, you're going to love Jesus and serve him? It's just any dunny. What about, is it certain age, or is it, a certain country? No, it's all ages can do this. Just doesn't matter. Just love Jesus, serve him. That's right. Love him and serve him. And when you love the Lord, you always want to be with other people like that love the Lord. That you can't just be with them. Oh no, it's not just them. We just, everywhere we go, Chesley, but we always are looking for somebody that loves Jesus too, And because you need good fellowship. Good fellowship, that's right. But Chesley, our story today, I know what it is. It's being self-willed. It's important that we don't want to always just get our way. But Chesley, there comes time that it's to make a choice. Serve the Lord or not. We have to, and all through life, when you have decisions, that's right, that's a good one. We have choices, decisions. Chesley, what are you doing? Why are you winking? Oh, okay, girls are watching. I know girls are watching, but we're talking about the message now, and I don't even know where it is. It's what book is it? What book is it? Like we're saying, train cars. We are the gospel train, and Chesley, it's not going to be very far down. So it's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, and then Deuteronomy. So it's not, there's not, that's right. It's way up there, one of the early ones. And this is from Numbers chapter 14. And so they're getting ready to go over, cross over into Canaan's land. Chesley, it was an opportunity to cross over into Canaan's land. You're right. It was exciting. God had done great miracles. God had done wonderful miracles. It was something. And so now they're all ready to go. And Chesley, you know what? Some of the people said they had decided that they might ought to have some people go out and go into and see if it really was as good as, I don't think they should do it. You know why? Because God said it was a good land, and so what he says goes. It's true. It's always going to be true. And that's what Joshua and Caleb, they said they knew that was it. They wanted, let's go, let's do it. And they said, well, I think we need to send a group out, send like a spy it out, that's right, and check it out. Joshua and Caleb said, there's no need, what God says. And they said, God's been doing miracles. God has done so many miracles, but said, I think we need to go check it out. So Joshua and Caleb said, I know what they said. Yeah, I'm going. I want to be one of them. They wanted to be one of those spies. And so what they did, they went and got these fellas now, one for each of the tribes. And so here was these 10, and they all went. This was like a vacation. Well, Chesley, it was a working vacation, because they were going to go into their, and you what happened? I'm scared now. Why are you scared? Because they might get caught. Well, Chesley, it's possible, but God was good, and he helped them, that they were able to get into the land, and they didn't have anything bad happen. It was all good. It was just a wonderful land. And because all of the crops are good, but did they have like strawberries and tomatoes? Chesley, I don't know what all that. I know grapes was one thing. No telling what all they had, but everything was terrific. And they were so blessed. And Joshua and Caleb was saying, we can do it. We can do this. And the other guys, they was excited. Oh, they said, we can't do it. Look at the people. Look how big they are. And you know what? God is greater. He's going to help them. I know he can help them. He would help them. He was ready to help them. Joshua and Caleb was getting so excited. And they said, God's done great miracles. And those fellas said, you know what? Look at these. These guys they're giants. And said, you know what? We are so tiny. We look like grasshoppers. No, grasshoppers, that's not the truth. No, I tell you what. And God is so great. And that's what Joshua and Caleb was looking at, how big God was. It didn't matter how big they were. And God was on their side. And you know what? The thing was, God had blessed them and helped them, and they had won so many victories, it was impossible that they could have done it by themselves. And God was on their side. And these guys, though, they didn't believe like that. Well, after 40 days, and just think about how they enjoyed that food, how they enjoyed all the... They ate some of that, you know they did, and they knew it was good, and they should have. And Joshua and Caleb said, I can't wait for the others to have it. That's what, I can't wait. Joshua and Caleb said, they're going to enjoy this. Come on, we're going to be able to cross over and just go back and give them this good report. Well, after 40 days, and they got over there, and those, you know, Chesley, you know, I found this out. What do you think about this? Misery craves company. I remember years ago having a man come and speak to our school, and he was a law officer, and he said, I've never seen anybody, they want to commit a crime by themselves. He said, or just, get into trouble by themselves. No, misery craves company. Misery craves company. You don't want to be alone. So what they did, those 10 got together. Joshua and Caleb would not join them. No, I think they did the right thing. Did they feel alone? They might have felt alone. But Chesley, they were right, because they were on God's side. But you had a choice, Chesley. You can win or lose. We get to choose. What do you do? I'm just going to win. Well, Chesley, you need to do what God says. You can't win without God. And you can't lose with God. And so anyway, when the report went back, when they got back home, and they were excited, and Joshua and Caleb said, it is just great. And those guys said, it isn't? No, they said, oh, that's right, that's true, that's true. But then they said, but the people are so big, we look like grasshoppers. And they said, we can't do it. That's what they said, we can't do it. Oh, Joshua and Caleb were so disappointed, so disappointed. The others said that we ought to just choose a leader, and we ought to just go back to Egypt. Oh, Chesley, that was awful. And I think, what did they think of that, Joshua and Caleb? Well, Chesley, they even offered, they thought, well, I'll just stone them. It was a horrible thing. But all said and done, you know who didn't like it? You know, I think God did not like it. And he said, these fellows that are complaining, in fact, all of them that are in agreement with them, oh, misery craves company, misery craves company. All but God said, look at this. He said, if there had been any of those people that would have agreed with Joshua and Caleb, they could have gone in. But no, these people all said no. And so they weren't, God said, none of them can go. He said, it's just these. He said, 10 times they have just rebelled against me and been self-willed. Self-willed, doing your own thing. You can't do it. You do what God says, and it's good. It's the right thing, and it's good for you. That's right. God doesn't want to hurt you. He wants to help us. Well, anyway, Chesley, as they say, the long story short, we'll just cut it out and say, long story short, when Moses, he had to tell him, you can't win. It's not going to happen. Well, early the next morning, those guys said, here we are. We're all ready for battle. We're going. You can't do it. And he said, God's already spoken. You can't go in. You're not going to live. It's not going to happen. He said it's going to be 40 years, but their children will go in. No, so they got to go. Oh, Chesley, if the children, if they were, here they were little kids and all, he said, they're going to get to go in. And Joshua and Caleb. You know why he said Caleb? He just has a different spirit, a different attitude about this. No, he's trusting in God. And Joshua and Caleb, they were saying, this is where I'm going to live. This is what I'm going to, and God's going to help me. There's going to be victory. And then they can just serve the Lord together. Serve the Lord, all and their families. And they said, this is what God has chosen. Those other fellows said, we're going anyway. And Moses said, you better not try it. God is not with you. No, and he did something, they just got themselves killed. They got themselves killed because of disobedience, self-will. And look what happened, though, Chesley. It affected their families. They had to wait now
40 years. All these people, one by one, the rest of the crowd, not just, over all those years. But Joshua and Caleb was faithful, and the time came.
They got to do it.
They got to do it. They got to go in. What a great victory. And old brother Joshua, told Caleb said, I've got some territory here that belongs to me, because that's what God had planned. And Caleb didn't say, I don't care. It doesn't matter where. He said, I want that one was the biggest, the hardest, that they thought could never be taken down.
God's going to do it.
And Joshua said, it's yours. And he said, I tell you what, God's given me strength. He said, I hadn't lost any strength.
Oh, I tell you what, win or lose, you choose.
Win or lose. And what the way to win
is to do what God says.
Agree with God and do what He says.
Because He has the best thing in mind for us.
He has the very best in mind for us. Oh, Chesley, I think it's important to be faithful. I think it's important to do the right thing, such as going to bed.
Oh, I thought, do you ever forget that thing?
No, Chesley, I can't forget it because, see, I have other things I need to do today.
That we could do another story.
I know we could, but we're not. So right now you tell everybody goodbye.
I'm going to tell you that I don't really want to go to the end. I'm getting kind of scared.
Chesley, you couldn't possibly be getting scared.
I think there was a storm last night.
Yes, Chesley, there was a storm last night. That was last night, and you were safe in the house. Nothing happened.
So I was thinking, what if that storm would have took me off?
Chesley, the storm didn't pick you up and take you off. You're stalling, Chesley. I know this trick. Tell everybody goodbye.
I love you all and good night. And be sure and do what God says and be obedient and read Numbers chapter 14.
Numbers chapter 14. You're still stalling. Goodbye, Chesley. And goodbye to all of you. We love you. We'll see you next week, next Sunday afternoon, the Lord willing.